If you're anything like me, you've been in the market for a new lightsaber for a while now. Back in 2022, I picked this up at Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. It's Ahsoka's lightsaber, and while it's good quality products, it just doesn't hold up to the standards that you expect from a lightsaber today. Now, don't get me wrong, it's much better than something like this. $60 from Target. Not the best. But the issue is that there's a lot of different lightsaber manufacturers out there. There's NeoPixel, for example, and Sabers. But there's a new saber company out, and it's one that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. And it's one that I decided to go all in on and pick up a new lightsaber just to see how it works. So I've got Theory Saber. I've been a big fan of him for a long time, and he was advertising it as high quality sabers at a cheap price. So I thought I'd give it a go. Now, part of what makes this review so interesting is that all the other YouTubers that I've seen are reviewing legacy sabers. I've seen Darth Maul's, I've seen Obi-Wan's, I've seen Qui-Gon's. And don't get me wrong, they're all good reviews, but I wanted to get one that isn't a legacy saber, one that is maybe a bit more affordable for people like me who aren't ready to put all of their money into a legacy saber. So I've picked up a saber called the Alien Saber, and I'm just going to show you what it is and compare it to the Disney and the $60 Target one that I've got. Now, obviously, right off the bat, the biggest compliment you can give is the box design. It is very beautiful, and they obviously do advertise it as a collector's box, as they say here. Unfortunately, mine got a little bit damaged in transit, which is a shame, but I guess it makes sense coming all the way from Canada. It's bound to get a couple of bumps and knocks, so I'm not too annoyed with that. Let's open it up. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the inside of this. Oops, upside down. Fulfill your destiny. Yours kind of a bit blurred. Anyway, there we go. This is cool. This is very cool. It really makes it feel like a collector's box. Put this to the side. Now, inside every single saber box, you're going to get a toolkit. You're going to get your lightsaber, you're going to get a couple stickers, and a display stand, and your blade of choice. So you can either choose a 36 or a 32 inch. The stickers, quite nice. They're just some sort of promotional stickers. You can do whatever you want with them. I'll leave them there. You also get a booklet of instructions. Now, I'll be honest, I've opened this already. This was the first thing I had quite a bit of issues with, just because it's very vague, and with a single button lightsaber like the one I've got, there are a lot of things that I struggled with that weren't covered in this one. I had to go to the Theory Saber's website, which I believe is through this QR code here, and had to try and work it out from a video that was on there. They did cover it. If you are getting a single button saber, there is a video. I will leave a link to the video in the description. But that aside for the moment, the toolkit, it's quite big, but it's really not got that much in it. It's literally just, it might be a bit different for 2-button sabers, but for a 1-button saber, all you're getting is an Allen key and a couple of tightening screws for the blade. So I'll put this down. The display stand, very basic. Again, I've already opened this, so it's kind of already assembled. You also get a Theory Saber's plaque as well, which is quite nice. But let's take this out. Oh yeah, this is the... Let's take this out. Okay, so I've already put the nameplate in there. Actually, let's move this here. And then very simple, these just go in like this. And you're done. And there's your display stand. Looks great on a shelf. I don't know if this is the exact same as a 2-button saber or a legacy saber, but this is what you get with the standard option. You also get the blade. I chose a 36-inch blade. This comes off because I thought the 32-inch would be too short. If you want to spin and like feels like a real lightsaber, I'd highly recommend getting a 36. I think it's a lot better. I also got the RGB baselit saber, so none of the high-tech stuff. This is one of the most affordable options for the lightsaber you can get from Theory Saber. And lastly, can't forget the actual lightsaber. Comes in this beautiful, beautiful bag. Very soft, very nice to feel. And it's also got an added layer of protection in some bubble wrap. Let's take this out. You also get a charging cable as well to charge your saber, which is good. Alright, so this is the Alien Saber. It's very minimalistic, it's very sleek, it's very cold to touch. It's obviously made of some sort of metal or aluminum, whatever. So yeah, the main feature is this thing, the single button saber. Obviously with dual buttons, you've got a bit more customization. With a single button, you're heavily reliant on this button to work your whole saber. And it took me a little bit to figure out, but I've pretty much got all of the controls and commands down. I will also say, just before I keep going, this saber is very, very customizable. I could not believe how much customization there is in this saber. That was something that just blew me away. I was not expecting that much. Putting it on the display stand, looks quite nice. My main criteria for getting a saber was that I wanted something that I could swing around, that wouldn't break easily, and that I could get multiple different colors. I've got all of that plus more in this saber, and I want to show you. There are 12 font sounds. There are 12 colors to choose from. I would highly recommend doing low volume and just cycling through the fonts. There's a lot of cool ones in there. I won't spoil what they are, but they're very cool. So I'll show you what the blade looks like in a bit of darkness, but just from an overall standpoint, if you are not looking to spend that much money, but you want a high quality lightsaber with a lot of customization, I can't recommend this anymore. I was absolutely blown away. Although it took a little bit to kind of work out, this is just so good, and it was a lot better than I thought. I took advantage of the 20% off sale. I won't deny that. They offer free shipping as well, which is awesome. Obviously, they're still trying to grow, so I don't know how long these sort of promotions and free shipping will last for. But for the moment, the non-legacy or the basic / custom sabers like this one, which is the cheapest one, the Alien Saber. If you just want that, you want something to spin around, could not recommend this more. So I'm going to show you some blade action now. Now I'll test it with the lights off, so we'll start with Darth Maul. Not bad. Not amazing. We'll go to Ahsoka. Definitely a better increase in quality here. And then we'll finish off with Theory. Kind of rivaling, similar but a bit different with Ahsoka's. Let's turn all these off. Let's do a blade comparison of Ahsoka and the Theory Saber, just quickly. We'll test the blues for... So this is the Ahsoka, and this is Theory. Very, very similar. Very similar blade, colors in the dark. At the end of the day, you can think about it like this. This, along with Ahsoka's other lightsaber, cost me 350 Australian dollars alongside two $50 blades. That combined for a total of about $450. I didn't know what I was doing with my money. This cost me 128 Australian dollars. For that, I'm getting a much nicer hilt. It's not a legacy hilt, but it's one that I can swing around a lot more easier. I'm getting a lot more customization, and I'm getting a much higher quality saber. If you have the choice between a Galaxy's Edge saber or a Theory Saber, I think the answer is quite obvious. Theory Saber is the way to go. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something.